Week 3 was another okay week. We moved up to 263 overall, so that's nice. But it feels like we're treading water. The weeks have been okay, but we just haven't done anything special. So hopefully week 4 things can just all come together and we can have a big week. I'll also give a quick shout out to my uni mate Michael. He's been writing some AFL pieces for Zero Hanger, done a few season reviews and taken a look back at the past. So if you want to give some of his articles a read, then I'll leave a link to his profile in the description. I posted my trades on Twitter last lockout, so I traded in LaMelo Ball, Domantas Sabonis, and Franz Wagner. LaMelo was really good. Bad start against the Cavs in that first half, but from that second half to today's game, he's been really good. Dinwiddie was okay, bit quiet today, but that's fine. Poole had a massive week. He needed this, and that should really kickstart his cash gen. Shooting guard Hero, poor against Boston, but the whole Heat team were. The other 2 games he was great. Maxey, very happy with him, particularly in the last 2 games. Doc's been playing him a lot of minutes with their injury situation, and Maxey's done well. And Giddey was good, not so much against the Spurs, but he's been a great rookie for us thus far. At center, Nikola Jokic is just way too good. And Precious, it looked like he was going to start leaking cash a bit, but his last couple of games have been better. Small forward OG was good, nice to see him drop his career high against the Knicks. Wagner was fantastic first game. He had half of his dream team points against Minnesota, but not as good the 3 games after. Hopefully he can pick it up in week 4. Scotty Barnes was out the first couple of games of the week due to a thumb injury, but he came back and performed well. And power forward Giannis, he's in that Jokic tier of just too good. And this guy, Domantas Sabonis, man, he was the big letdown for me this week. These first 3 weeks, it's felt like there's just one thing that weighs down the team. Middleton the first couple of weeks, and Sabonis captain. If he wasn't my captain, I wouldn't be as bothered by it, but I went with Domas because of the game's advantage, and he was poor. After game 1, just no good. So even with that game's advantage, it backfired on me, and just really disappointed. And Mobley on the bench, it's looking like a 2-horse race for Rookie of the Year between him and Scotty Barnes. Mobley is going to be a star. So, trades this week. We're going to say goodbye to Domas and a farewell to OG, who after the first week served us pretty well. Man, I could have traded in Rudy Gobert instead of Sabonis, and it would have worked out so much better. Or I could have followed my bias and traded in Paul George, but we brought in Sabonis and it backfired. What can you do? But the players I'm going to bring in this week, first off, I'm going to move Barnes to power forward. I want to field Mobley this week, plus Wagner's got 2 games only, so he can't be a field option. The premiums I want to bring in, first off Paul George, and then Jimmy Butler. He's priced quite high at 16 mil, but with the trades I have planned, I do have enough for him, and could be a real good pod these next couple of weeks. The Heat do play 4 games, weeks 4 and 5, so that works out for the team. But I need cash to facilitate this, and the only player I can trade out, I think, to make this work is Tyler Hero. And of course he plays on the same team as Jimmy, so he has 4 games the next 2 weeks. So it's not ideal in that regard, but I think it's the only way I can make it happen. I could trade out Spencer and not bring in Jimmy, but my options are pretty limited, and I do like Jimmy as a pod. So I think I'm going to trade out Hero. In the player I'll bring in, I've got just enough for Cade Cunningham. He's not shooting the greatest at the moment, but you think as he gets more games in, he'll find his form. So I don't mind trading him in right now. So Sabonis, OG, Hero to PG, Jimmy Butler, and Cade Cunningham leaves me with 164k in the bank. So this will be the team heading into week 4. We've got Nikola Jokic captain. I'm liking the way the team looks. Hopefully the players can perform. We've got a lot of teams playing 4 in week 4, so shouldn't be a problem in terms of finding premiums, deciding on your captain and whatnot. I think it's just a matter of if you don't mind picking anyone that has 4, or if you want to pick a player that plays 4 in consecutive weeks, so you don't have to worry about trading them out sooner. So as far as teams with consecutive 4s, Chicago, obviously Levine, DeRozan, you can trust. Denver, if you don't have Jokic, then definitely find a way to bring him in. Golden State, Steph, obviously. Clips, Paul George. Lakers are a bit weird. AD was dealing with a thumb issue, played the first 7 minutes against Portland and then was ruled out because of a stomach illness. He's a beast, but he's a massive injury risk, so I'd be very cautious when it comes to AD. Westbrook, I don't know how much I can trust him, so I'd probably steer clear of Russ. Miami, Jimmy, the obvious one. Bam's not bad either. Lowry's a bit of a wild card. He can put up stats like he did against the Jazz, but he can also have games where he doesn't score much at all. So it's a risky one, but could be a pod. Minnesota, Towns is a bit down in form. He's taking less shots than he did the first few games. Edwards is taking the bulk of the shots. Edwards isn't a bad pick, you could bring him in, but he is a little inefficient. I don't mind the Towns pick, but just be wary, because he isn't taking as many shots, he's getting doubled a lot, and Minnesota just can't really take advantage of that. New Orleans, I think Ingram's still injured, not sure when he's due back, but Valanciunas would be a great pod for the next 4 weeks. Phoenix, obviously they've got their big 3 of CP3, Book, and Ayton. Ayton can get frozen out of the offense a bit, so I don't know if he's that reliable. Book can be streaky at times, he can have big games like he did against the Hawks, but he can also have games where he's really struggling with his shot. I feel like CP3 is the most reliable out of the 3. He'll get his assists, his fair share of steals, pretty efficient. The only downside to him is whether he has a game where he just barely scores, because obviously he's looking for his teammates first. But out of those 3, I do like CP3 the most. But yeah, that's it out of the premiums. Rookies, schedule doesn't matter too much for them, but obviously I'm trading in Cade. Gary Payton II, he has been really good, showing off his hops, elite defense. He's only at 3.3 mil, point guard only, so he could be one that you trade in. Robinson Earl of the Thunder, I think he's around the same price as Payton, small forward, power forward. Pretty sure he's starting for the Thunder, so he might be one you'd want to bring in as well if you're in need of a small forward or power forward rookie. But yeah, that's about it there. We'll take a look at the league real quick. I'll probably do this once every few weeks. But we're ranked 21st out of 235, not too bad. If anything, I need to pick up the slack. I think most have at least 2,500 in total points, and here I am lagging behind, so I definitely got to step it up. But somehow I'm in the top 4, luck of the matchup. But I think most people, yeah, 2 and 1, 1 and 2, Early days. Yeah, a couple of 0-3s, but early days. We'll see how it looks a few weeks from now. But total points, definitely got to give that a look. We got Ryan leading the way, ranked 3rd. Jeez, good stuff. Jacob at 54, and then a lot of people in the top 200. Then there I am lagging way behind at 263, but great stuff. A lot of teams doing really well so far. So that'll do it for this video. Good luck to you all in week 4, and see you in the next one.